I'm here, and it is about 6:23 a.m. I was up a lot last night with a sick 4-year-old, and so I'm here early to get some stuff set up for you guys. And then by the time you get here, I will not be here. I mean, I'll be here like Earth, but not here like with you currently. So you took your test, so I hope that went well. And I'm just going to do a little quick lecture on the reading for today so that you can get something out of today. Usually, if kids are sick, I try to record a video so that it can be as much like I'm teaching you as possible. Our laptop computer's down, which I usually use to make these videos, and so I have weird filters and things over my face. But I just have to use my phone because the computer's not working, and so it's going to be lacking in like special effects. Ooh. That was a special effect for you. I'll try to throw in some special effects like that just to, try to keep you interested in what's going on. So if everyone could open up their books, please, to... so we talked through the Mrs. Turner section. I read that aloud yesterday. It's pretty offensive stuff. And again, as I talked about in the beginning, a lot of critics at the time felt like the book wasn't serious enough because it didn't touch on the racial issues of the time. Racism comes up a couple times near the end of the text, I think primarily to show just how ridiculous and awful it is. So anyway, Mrs. Turner was trying to set Janie up with her brother, both of whom have lighter skin complexion, and Tea Cake overheard this. And so he decided that if she doesn't like the people who live there, then the people who live there aren't going to eat at her restaurant. So if you could go forward to 147, please. I've also talked a number of times about some problems with Tea Cake. And up to this point, Tea Cake's been really good, outside of, stealing all our money and gambling it all away, because he did, he earned it back. So on page 147, this is kind of the big chapter, which seems out of place. So when it says on 147, it said, Tea Cake had another brainstorm. When Mrs. Turner's brother came and she brought him over to be introduced, Tea Cake had a brainstorm, and not the exciting kind full of ideas. Before the week was over, he'd whipped Janie. Not because her behavior justified his jealousy, but it relieved an awful fear inside of him. Being able to whip her reassured him in possession. No brutal beating at all. He just slapped her around a bit to show her he was boss. Everybody talked about it the next day in the fields. It aroused a sort of envy in both men and women. The way he petted and pampered her after those 2 or 3 face slaps that nearly killed her made the women see visions, and the helpless way she hung to him made men dream dreams. Okay, so he's going to say, well, actually, I'll just keep going on a little bit. So everyone liked this, was envious of this, because the women were envious that he was so nice to her after he hit her, and the men were envious that he could hit her and she wouldn't hit back. So, I mean, the whole thing from both sides is really kind of messed up, and I'm not sure what to make of it. I read a lot of papers about this, and people who wrote about it either kind of dismissed it as, it's not that big a deal, or they said that Tea Cake's a problem that Janie needs to overcome to kind of fully be herself or be an adult or be her own person or whatever. The men say, Tea Cake, you show is a lucky man, Sop the Bottom told him. A person can see every place you hit her. I bet she never raised a hand to hit your back neither. Now, offensive. He's jealous because you can see the marks where Tea Cake hit her because Janie's skin complexion's a little bit lighter. And it said on 148, Lord, wouldn't I love to whoop a tender woman like Janie? I bet she doesn't even holler. She just cries, right? Okay, so I mean, this is, and this is written by a woman, right? And so I'm just not, I don't know why this is in here. And here Tea Cake starts to sound a lot like Joe. Actually, he sounds like Joe and Logan. On 148, it says, Janie is wherever I want her to be. That's the kind of wife she is, and I love her for it. Logan said, your place is wherever I need you to be, and Joe basically said the same. So all 3 husbands have basically, in some variation, done the same things to Janie. I guess Logan didn't hit her, but Joe certainly did. And so my argument about, the amount of money determines the amount of